Hello from Tokyo. Today we're going to do some swipes similar to what I did I think about a year ago. These two I swiped with, I think it was turquoise green for these ones, but I'm going to use gold. In fact, I'm going to use all the paints that we used in the previous painting, which was the soft rainbow florals. And for the base, I'll use the titanium white that we have left over. And the colors are Pyrrole red. And then we have azo orange and azo yellow light. And then we have brilliant green and brilliant blue. And then this is phthalo blue and permanent blue violet. And then light gold, which is the swipe color. And here it is. So it's all Amsterdam brand, all of these paints. And can you see the thickness from the last pour? It's really thin, which is what I use for my florals, the softer florals. So I'm going to add a bit of paint to these to thicken it up, because if you want to have bolder colors, you need a thicker consistency for the paint. So I've just mixed a little bit up here. Can you see? It's thicker now. So I'm eyeballing it. So that's the thickness. I'm going to make all the paints around that consistency. And also I've added some more to the white as well. Can you see now it doesn't go straight in? It leaves a little bit of a mound. It's still pretty thin, but I'm adding this net. It's like a kitchen sink netting to try and catch any potential dried bits of paint on the cup already. So let's lay down the base paint. So you can see I'm quite frugal with how much paint I use. I don't want to waste so much. So I first try and tilt to spread it as much as possible, and then I will use a palette knife, or in this case I'm using a popsicle stick to smooth it out towards the edges and then let it flow over. And then popping any air bubbles, which you can often get if you're smoothing with a popsicle stick or palette knife, using a torch for that. And now we can put down some colors. If you saw the previous video, you'll notice how this time the paint is not sinking in because the consistency is different. So that's why we're going to get the brighter colors this time. It's interesting how you can just tweak the consistency of your paint and pouring medium mix only a little bit, and it can make a considerable difference. So it's good to experiment depending on what technique you'd like to try. So we're just laying down the colors slightly overlapping each other. So we'll use the full rainbow spectrum colors, and then we'll swipe with the gold, and then we'll do the same with the colors again for the second swipe. So we'll do them in 2 stages. I felt like adding a bit of gold on top of the colors before I did the swipe. At this point, I haven't got any silicone oil in the gold swipe paint, so I'm going to mix that up now. Let's add just 2 drops of silicone oil and mix that up well. I'm going to add a little bit of pouring medium in because it felt a bit too thick. This is what I usually use for my colors, which is 60% clear PVA glue, 10% US Floetrol, and 30% water, very thin consistency mix. So this is what the consistency looks like. And now I'm going to load the palette knife with the gold paint. Now that the palette knife is loaded with the gold paint, it's time to swipe gently over the rainbow colors. I like to jiggle a little bit towards the end of the swipe. And now you can see the reaction of the silicone oil, and you get these cells, and the cells will develop further, especially if you add a bit of heat with the torch. And then let's repeat the same by laying down the colors again and then doing another swipe. Okay, let's have a little close-up look at this stage after the swipe. Let's have a look at these delicious jewel tone cells. Some of them are a little bit misshapen, and that does happen, like those ones there, kind of like an amoeba shape. That can happen with silicone oil. So I know some people don't like to use it. I don't mind it though. So now we're going to do a bit of a blowout with the straw to add some more interest to these swipes. We're going to take a dotting tool and create some flow, breaking up the edges a bit. You can use a toothpick to do the same as well. So I'm going to have a little play around with this and then come back to talk to you when we have a look at the wet, finished version of the painting. Okay, let's have a look at the wet version of the completed painting. What do you think? The rainbow colors are really popping. Such a difference, right, between the two paintings, the two effects, depending on the consistency of the paint. We're using exactly the same colors. There's quite a bit of gold there, so that should dry very nice and shiny. I'm loving the colors and the fin-like blowouts. So now let's have a look at the dried version. It's so bold. It's not the kind of color scheme I usually use, but I like it. I really like this fin type thing going on here. I want to play with this a lot more. What do you think of these white bubbly bits? I think they're really pretty. I love the light blue as well, the tiny light blue cells. Here you can see the shine really well. Even better if I put it in this light. What do you think of that? Would you try swiping with gold too? I'd like to try this more with other metallic colors and some more iridescent colors too. Here it is in the other orientation, but I think I prefer it this way. What did you think of the painting today? I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching as always, and see you next time. Bye!